Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Kay Unscripted and I am your girl Kay, and today we're going to be getting into Love Island USA season 8 and we're on episode 1. Yes, the season just premiered, and so we're going to be talking about this season of Love Island. Okay, so Ariana said new hairstyle, new me, and I said yeah, me too, new setup. So let me know how y'all feel about the new setup. This makes my life so much easier as compared to previously when I did my recaps and I showed the pictures. I know some people like to see the pictures, but it just makes editing a lot easier for me. So let me know how you'll feel about it. And while you're at it, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend. And now let's talk about this season. Okay.
Kay Unscripted, no teeth restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
So we get straight into the choreography. There's not too much to say. I mean, it was cute and all, but we're not here for that, right? So the first two islanders to walk into the villa are Anaya and Kenzie. Anaya's eyes are so pretty. Oh my god, these girls look really good. I must say the cast for this season are looking really good. Okay, so they walk into the villa, they get acquainted with each other, they pop some champagne, and they're hyping up each other because they're so excited. I would be too. So first we're introduced to Anaya. She's 23 years old. She's from Georgia, and she also said that she is a non-profit marketing director, and the girl said she's looking for her husband. Honey, you still have a lot more time, okay? Alright, so she also said that her mom is her best friend, and she's the kind of girl who's always hyping up the ladies, and we love us a girl's girl. We know there's been so much discussion about a girl's girl and what it really means, but that's exactly what it means, okay? She said that she's also been single for 6 months and she is ready to settle down and to start a family. Anaya also said that she doesn't really have a type, but she loves a guy who knows how to dress, who is charismatic, and reciprocates the same energy that she's giving. So I'm definitely excited to see more of Anaya's personality. So far, I'm liking it. Then we meet Mackenzie, who is a Sag. I am also a Sagittarius, okay? She says that she gets really emotional, and I'm like, baby, not too much, okay? Please. Anyways, Mackenzie is 24. She's from Georgia, and she also just graduated from nursing school. She said that she used to be she used to be a competitive dancer, but she's now a lover girl. Interesting. But she does want a marriage to look like what her parents has. And she also shared that in the past she has lost herself in relationships, but she's determined to not do that again. I think many of us can relate to that, losing ourselves and trying to please our partner. So I definitely get that. Up next, we meet the next beautiful islander. Her name is Melanie. She tells us that she's from LA. No, she lives in LA, but she's from Philly. She's blonde, but she's really fun. She's also Dominican. Melanie said that she doesn't like when people call themselves a girl's girl because she feels like any real woman who loves other women don't have to say that. You just naturally see it. And I will have to agree with her. Although I just mentioned girl's girl, but I do agree with her way of explaining it. So as the girls are catching up, they talk about relationships from their past. And Kenzie said that she is a little bit delusional, and so does Anaya. And so the girls decide to make a pact that they're going to check on each other, okay? If they see anyone being a bit delusional, be like, hey girl, what's going on? Like, what is happening, okay? And I like that because sometimes when you're so boy crazy, you don't really see things. And so sometimes your friends just have to tell you, hey girl, check yourself. That's not looking good for you. Okay, so I like that. So next we meet Beatrice. She's from California, and she says her type is tall, dark, and handsome. And I said, I love that because that's also my type. And that's why I married tall, dark, and handsome. Okay, period. She tells us that she was born with a rare birth defect and has a prosthetic leg, but that has never caused her to hold back because she has been in competitive sports, and so she did win a bronze medal, right? Beatrice lets us know that she's very direct when it comes to dating. She'll see a guy and she'll be like, hey, you, me and you, Monday night, we have a date, give me a number. I said, what is this? So next we meet Trinity, who said that she loves a tall, handsome guy with tattoos. And she also said that she loves love. So we have a lot of lover girls this season. We also learned that she said that she's a very sexual person, but she only shows that side of her when she's completely comfortable with that person. She also said that she loves a golden retriever type of guy, and I really just don't like, I don't want to say hate, but I really dislike when women make reference, or just people in general make reference to themselves, or try to describe themselves as a dog, because a dog is a dog no matter what breed it is still a dog. And I personally, I just don't like that, because how are you going to get offended if I call you a dog but you refer to yourself as a golden retriever? Make it make sense, right? Then we see Ariana strutting into the villa looking bomb as always. Might I just add that I really like the black hair on Ariana? It fits her really good. She welcomes all of the ladies to Fiji and she lets them know that she's so excited to get to know them. So they sit down and they're chatting and she's starting to get to know them a little bit more. So first she gets to know Melanie, who says that she's pretty much being like the lover girl of lover girls. She finds love in her family, her friends, just about anything, but that hasn't really worked for her. Because finding love in LA is a little bit complicated. So maybe girl, you should change your location, okay? Okay, so then we meet Trinity, right? And so we find out that Trinity quit her job to come to Love Island because the girl wants to find her husband. And so I feel like if she doesn't find her guy on Love Island, I think she'll be just fine, okay? She will be taken care of after the show for sure. Now, Trinity has a little personality. I will tell you this, okay? Because she said she does fall fast in a relationship. But you're not about to sit here and play in her face because she looks too good to be wasting her time. And I said, period. Kenzie then says that she's definitely not a roster girl. So being her dating multiple guys at the same time, it's definitely going to be challenging for her. But she's looking forward to the experience. Now, apparently, Anaya just randomly decided to apply for the show and she's on. And she said it's just an absolute blessing to her. Now, when she said she feels like every girl has a roster, I mean, there were a couple of side eyes, okay? Maybe not too much. Then we learn a little bit more about Beatrice. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. So you all know I'm not good with those names. But anyways, she does talk about her birth defect. And she said her leg, was amputated at 10 months old. And when doctors said that she would never walk again, here she is running and winning medals, okay, period. Because doctors don't have the final say, okay? She also talks about how insecure men have been, especially when it comes to her career. And it's not only because of sports, it's just in general. Sometimes when a man sees that a woman is a lot more successful, it can bring out a lot of insecurities. And I totally agree with her on that. So the guys are making the entrance into the villa. So we first meet Bryce and Sincere, who are the first two guys to enter the villa. So we're introduced to Sincere personally. He's 25 years old and he's a track and field star from New Jersey. He then tells us that he was raised by his grandmother and his mother who taught him how to live right. Sincere also says that he is book smart. He loves reading and we like that. Then we're introduced to Bryce. He said that he's from Hawaii and he's been modeling from the age of 17 years old. He said that there are a lot of assumptions about him from people, but he's actually a very sensitive guy. Now, why did Kenzie call that guy a simp? Kenzie, behave, please. It's too early. Bryce also shares that because of how his money fluctuates with modeling, he does do handiwork and he also works on, I think it is garbage trucks, he said he does work on, so he could make some money because you gotta do what you gotta do, okay? Now, once Bryce reveals that he actually modeled for Calvin Klein, Kenzie was like, I like your earrings. Oh, so a while ago you were just calling him a simp, but because you heard he works with Calvin Klein or he had worked with Calvin Klein, you're now, oh, I like your earrings. Kenzie, please. So the next guy walks in, and it's Zach. If you don't remember or don't know, he's Charlie's brother who was on last season of Love Island USA. Now, once he walked into the villa, everybody's like, but he looks familiar. Yeah, he looks familiar because of his brother, okay? He does tell us that his last relationship lasted for 4 years until it kind of fizzled out. He says he's looking for fun, a cool American girl who will love his cat, and he plans to do better than his brother Charlie. We're going to have to wait to see how this unfolds with Zach, okay? Now, the last two guys walk into the villa, Casey and Sean, who has been stirring up so much on the internet. Now, Sean introduced himself to the group and he let them know that he's actually a police officer. Somebody said, watch him because he's the Fed. And that was so funny. Sean lets us know that he was in a 10-year relationship, and once that ended, he kind of went crazy on the dating apps, and he also had a baby that wasn't really planned. He does talk about how much he loves being a dad, and apparently, the girl that he has the baby with, the lady, sorry, she moved to Pennsylvania, and so he picked up and moved to Pennsylvania as well so that he could be in close proximity, with his son. Up next, we're introduced to Casey, who said that he is a nursing assistant, but he's hoping to be a nurse practitioner and he just really loves taking care of people. Okay, so all of the singles are there, and of course, there's going to be a game to have some kind of compatibility test going. Okay, so the Islanders will be asked a series of questions, they will be standing behind the door, and apparently if you match with more than one guy, then you will be sharing a steamy kiss, right? Now they get straight into it, and I was just like, so that's the first question. What is your favorite sex position? What is this? So first we see Anaya, and she shares a kiss with both Cynthia and Casey. Now Cynthia said the kiss was a 8 out of 10. But I don't know, I just feel like I didn't really see chemistry with neither of the guys. Next up, there's Beatrice and Trinity, who's behind the door of Bryce and Sean. Both of them exchange and share kisses with each of the guys. Now, in my humble opinion, Sean was doing a little bit too much because, hey, relax. There's enough time to make out. So I just feel like he was doing too much. And lastly, Kenzie and Melanie were behind Zach's door. And y'all, Zach said, who's first? Now, honestly, I am a lady and I'm a married lady at that. So I don't really feel like I should be discussing sex. No. So let's just scoot over that whole segment. So the next question is, which one are you? A dog person, a cat person, or do you prefer plants? So behind the door that says dog, there's Cynthia and Sean, and the four girls are Beatrice, Anaya, Kenzie, and Melanie. And again, like I said, Sean was doing a lot, okay? Because why did he have that girl pinned to the podium? What is happening? So for the cat person, obviously we know Zach because he already said that in his confessional. And the other guy, I think it was Bryce. And so the only girl was a Trinity, so she gets to make out with the two guys. Now, Casey's done behind. You don't like plants. Why did you stand behind? Why did you stand behind the plant door? He gets to make out with not a soul. So the next question was, is it ever okay to check your partner's phone? Sometimes, never, and I think the other option was always. So the first answer was never, and it was Sean who got to make out with Anaya and Beatrice. Now the next answer was sometimes, and the guys were Bryce, Zach, and Casey. And so they got to make out with Melanie, Kenzie, and Trinity, which leaves which leaves Sincere with the option of always, and there was absolutely not a soul standing behind that door. And I'm like, red flag, always go for my phone. What is happening? So after the game was done, everybody gets to make out with everybody, and that was interesting. So it's now time for the islanders to couple up. So each of the guys are standing behind a door with their name written on it, and the girls must then stand at the door of whichever guy they would like to couple up with. So the first guy is Bryce, and when he opens up his door, Trinity is standing in front of him. She says that they have a lot in common and she's attracted to him, and so she thought, why not give him a chance? So the next guy is Sean, and when he opens up his door, Beatrice is standing in front of him. He was a little bit nervous. He thought no one would have picked him, but here he does have Beatrice standing, who likes him because they shared a lot of kisses and feels like they are, like there's some chemistry between them. So Beatrice and Sean are the second couple of Love Island USA season 8. So up next is Casey. Now y'all, when Casey opened up his door, I said yikes, because no one was standing in front of his door. I mean, I felt so bad for the guy. I think everybody felt kind of bad for him, and I'm just like, poor thing. So Ariana then asked him to sit at the fire pit, and before the night ends, he will be in a couple. Now the next guy is Sincere, and when he opens up his door, he has two ladies. It's Anaya and Melanie. So he must now pick which one of the girls he would like to couple up with. Sincere does make a decision, and he decides to go with Melanie, which makes Anaya single, so she too is sent to sit at the fire pit. And she too will end up in a couple, but we still have another guy left, and so we get to find out what happens with Zach. So Sincere and Melanie make the third couple of Love Island USA season 8. So the last guy is Zach, and we're about to find out what happens with Zach, and clearly Kenzie is the only girl that's missing, and so she is standing behind Zach's door, which makes them the fourth couple of Love Island USA. Kenzie said she chose Zach because she likes his accent and she feels like they have a lot of chemistry. Now, since there's only one boy and one girl left, that makes Anaya and Casey the last couple of Love Island USA season 8. Okay? So now that everyone is coupled up, Ariana does make her exit and the islanders start to explore the villa. So we see the first chat for the night between Casey and Anaya, and he's like, you know what really messed me up is opening the door and seeing no one was standing there because I chose the plant. You remember the game they had earlier, and he said that he's not really into either dogs or cats, and I feel like there needs to be a little bit of grace for us people. Nothing against animals, it's just that some of us don't really have that natural affection towards animals, and that's okay too. So Anaya starts talking about her career, and she kind of mentions about her dad being in the NBA, and he's like, wait, hold up, so you're just going to say that like that doesn't mean something? He's like, wait a minute, that's a big deal. But if I were Anaya, I probably wouldn't give that information too quickly, because we know how some people can get, right? We know how some people can put on a facade and pretend like they like us, but it's only because of who we're attached to. So I don't know Casey, and I'm not saying that he's that kind of person, but me personally, I wouldn't give too much in the first conversation. That's just me. So we see a conversation happening between Sincere and Melanie, and off the bat she's like, you look so familiar, and immediately they bond on the fact that they're both from Northeast, and they're also both fans of the Eagles, right? But she's like, but you look so familiar. I hope you all are not cousins. Let's just get that out there. Or maybe they may have just seen each other in passing and just never really noticed each other. Let me not say cousins. Cousins might be a stretch. I'm sorry. These two definitely look like they're bonding with each other. I mean, he's already asking her what she wants for breakfast, and so we like it. It's cute, and I feel like they do look like a really beautiful couple. So I look forward to seeing how this relationship, well, I don't want to say relationship, but their connection unfolds. Next, we see Zach and Kenzie getting to know each other. She does tell him that she just completed nursing school, and he congratulated her on that. And he does mention that he was a rehab assistant at a hospital. So this is something that they're actually connecting on. Now, Kenzie definitely looks like she's lusting over Zach because once again, she talks about his dark features and just the way that she's looking at him. She's looking like she's ready to eat that man up. And I'm like, Kenzie, baby, relax, relax. Now, let's move on to the next couple, Trinity and Bryce. Now, I was pleasantly surprised by Trinity being interested in Bryce because I don't think I really saw a spark between them. But anyways, they're getting to know each other. And I feel like she was kind of leading that conversation, right? And he wasn't giving too much. He was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then the minute she starts asking about his job, you could tell that he's a bit embarrassed by his job. And he does say that he is a little bit insecure about talking about his job because he does he does fix garbage trucks and he feels embarrassed about that. But Trinity's like, oh no, it's okay, it's cool. Like, there's no reason to be embarrassed about that. I mean, your job is your job and you gotta do what you gotta do to make that money, okay? Now, they also learn that there's a 7-year age gap between them. I personally feel like Trinity is probably more into Bryce than he's into her, because tell me, why did she tell him, oh, you're so cute, you're a little bit charming, or whatever she said, and he didn't even say, but you look beautiful, but then you ask her for a kiss? Yeah, no, you wouldn't be getting any smooches from me. So let's move on to Officer Sexy Pants, okay? That's what Ian said. So he's chatting with his couple, Beatrice, and he tells her that he has been a police officer for 6 years. But when she talks about her career in the Olympics, he looks shocked and impressed at the same time because, I mean, she looks great, and given her health situation, I mean, kudos to her for that. And boy, was he impressed. He liked that. He also talks about his love for country music, and she's like, yeah, no, that's not working with me. But I really like to see those two together, and they two are another couple that I'm looking forward to seeing how things unfold with them, because they genuinely do look like they're into each other. So the guys and the girls split up, right? The girls are in their dressing room, they're unpacking and stuff. So they're having conversations with each other about their one-on-one with their couple. And so we see Kenzie telling the girls that she's really into Zach. She likes his accent, but he said he's never dated a blonde girl, and she's kind of looking like, it's a little bit scary for her. But Zach, on the other hand, is telling the guys that there's no chemistry between he and Kenzie, but he's going to give it time to see how things unfold. And I said, yikes. He also said in his confessional that there's going to be no cuddling, no kisses, none of that, because he doesn't want to lead her on and to make her feel like it's going somewhere, and then wake up the next day and he's just not really wanting to be all upon her like that. And I think that's fair. And then there's Casey, who's telling the guys that he feels like his energy and Anaya's energy are matching, but she's in the dressing room telling the girls that she cannot really tell if the vibe between them is real or not. She does have to get to know him a little bit more. But that's okay. It's just day one, so that's okay. Then we see Beatrice talking about Sean. Now the girls ask her how she feels about him being a dad, and she said for her it's actually a red flag, and she has kind of cut things off with a guy once she found out that he does have a child or children, and so that's not a situation she does want to see herself in. But you know, they're in the villa, they're just getting to know each other, they're not getting married tomorrow, so you know, she's willing to give him a chance and to get to know him better. Meanwhile, Sean is downstairs hyping her up, you know, talking about her being an athlete, and you know, saying all of those wonderful things about her, pretty much just hyping her up. And then lastly, we see Bryce talking about his connection with Trinity. He said that they did have a really good chat. And he does also tell the guys that they shared a kiss. In fact, he said that she's the baddest, period. She's the baddest. And then we see Trinity telling the girls that Bryce isn't the kind of guy that she's usually used to dating. She also does mention that he's 30, and I feel like that maybe gave her a little bit of the ick, because he's probably a little bit too much older for her than what she expected. But she says, look here, I'm here for a good time, okay? I'm here to have a good summer. And I said, period. So it is now bedtime, and all of the islanders head to bed, and then it's the next morning. Breakfast is being made by the guys, and we love to see that. Now we do see Bryce bringing breakfast to Trinity, and we also do see Zach bringing breakfast for Kenzie, and it kind of looked like she kind of begged him for a kiss, because we know that he's not really feeling her like that, and he did look a little bit uncomfortable giving her a little peck, right? We also did see Casey bring breakfast in for Anaya. They did share a couple of pecks. Who am I missing? We also did see Sincere bring in breakfast for Melanie, but he does tell her, where are we going to have breakfast together? So I like that. He's initiating, and he wants to spend time with her while they have breakfast together. So that's cute. So we see a chat between Casey and Anaya. He's asking how she feels about their connection. She said she likes him. He said he likes her too. They talk about what her expectations are when it comes to being in a relationship. She said she likes fairy tales. She likes all of, you know, the girly stuff, right? She said she wants to be courted. And he was explaining that the culture has shifted a little bit now. I almost feel like he didn't explain himself properly, because for a moment there, when he was talking about opening the door for a woman, she kind of took it as if he was saying that he wasn't going to do that, but he was just trying to say that the culture has shifted so much that some guys don't even do that for their lady. Now, when they went to the photo booth, I felt like she wasn't really wanting to kiss him, but he asked for a kiss, and it felt a little bit forced to me. But guys, it's just day one. Well, day two, right? So Melanie is having breakfast, and she is sitting with Sincere. They're in Saltice, I think. So she's like, wait, so you did say always for checking the phones. So he's explaining to her that he doesn't mean like, you know, insecure, always checking your partner's phone. He meant that there should always be access to each other's phone, which I feel like makes sense. And now that he explained it, I understood where he was coming from. Now, these two are definitely bonding. They're gushing over each other. They're looking into each other's eyes, and then they share a kiss. And I'm really excited for this too. I think this is my favorite couple so far. Now, y'all, is it just me, or do y'all peep that Bryce is always posing? I mean, I know he's a model and all, but sir, can you please stop posing for the camera? He's always playing in his hair. He's always giving some faces. He's always like doing a lot. But anyway, we see Trinity having a conversation with Beatrice, and she's telling her that she likes the vibe between her and Bryce, but she's never really dated a guy like him. Now, Beatrice does say also that she likes Sean, but she's not really into dating someone who has a kid, and I feel like that is fair, right? Um, Everyone has their preferences, and that is okay. So it's now later on in the evening, everyone is getting ready, they get downstairs, they make a toast, and so we see a conversation between Kenzie and Melanie. Kenzie is filling Melanie in on the conversation she had with Zach, and that he said he's never really dated a blonde and he likes women with dark features. Now she says that he's only complimented her eyes, but he's never really actually said that she's beautiful and she wants to be coupled up with someone or be with someone who feels like she's beautiful, and I totally agree with her on that. So the fact that he's not really even complimenting you should tell you that he's not really that into you, and you cannot change his preference because somebody's preference is just what it is, their preference. Then we see Ariana strutting into the villa. Baby, we know some things are about to shake up. So Ariana asks all of the islanders to meet her at the fire pit. She asks how they're feeling and how they're connecting with each other. And then she lets them know that there's a decision to be made. So we see the doors coming back and the guys are on one side, the girls are on the opposite side. Ariana then tells them that they both have to make a decision. You could either decide to stay in your couple by stepping onto the green dot, or you can choose to explore with another person by standing on the red dot. So the first couple was Beatrice and Sean. She decides that she wants to explore. He decides to stay. Now, I feel like she said that a red flag for her is being with someone who has a child. So I didn't think she would have made that decision right away, but she's making it known that she's not here to play those games, right? Up next is Kenzie and Zach. Now, Zach decides that he wants to explore, but Kenzie, she chose to stay. And I'm like, Kenzie, girl, why did you choose to stay? This man has already let you know that he's not really into you like that. So what are you staying for? Make it make sense. Up next is Trinity and Bryce. And baby, Ariana said, are you in or are you out? And they both said, I'm out. Then we have Anaya and Casey, and they both decided to stay. Okay, I like that. I like that. And last but not least, we have Sincere and Melanie, who both decided to stay. I mean, we knew that, right? Now, everyone thought they were about to find out what really went down behind these doors, but Ariana was like, oh, by the way, two new bombshells are about to enter the villa. Yes, and everyone is like, what the hell? Ariana lets them know that those who are on the red dot will be getting to meet the two new bombshells, Taylor and Gabriel. So we meet Gabriel, and he straight up says that he's a bad boy. If he has to run someone over to get what he wants, he's going to do that. And then we see Taylor. She's 22 and she said these men are going to fall on their knees for me. Okay, Taylor. Now, y'all, when the girls saw Gabriel, they were like, he is fine as hell. And that he is. Now, y'all, Gabriel came with the heat because tell me, why was he unbuttoning his shirt? And y'all, that kiss he shared with Beatrice, I'm like, oh my God. And now when Taylor went over to kiss Zach, immediately Kenzie could tell that he was getting kissed on. And she's like, yeah, it's him. And Melanie's like, no, girl, relax, it's not him. But yeah, she's right, it's him. Now, by the time Gabriel got to Trinity, his shirt was off. And they were definitely eating each other's face. Let me tell you. Wow. Now, y'all, why was I calling that girl Taylor? I could have sworn I heard Taylor, but her name is actually Kada. So anyways, we see Kada grabbing Zach and Bryce, going with them, and we also see Gabriel doing the same with Trinity and Beatrice. And I'm like, where are y'all going? Please let me know where y'all going, okay? And that's where the episode ends. But the preview, baby, some things are about to go down. But please tell me all of your thoughts on this episode. Who are you liking so far? Please share all of your thoughts with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.